next anime review, I'm doing Summer Pockets. This anime is done by Studio Feel, and it is rated PG-13. Alright, now that Summer Pockets is finally finished up, and I was able to get to the 26th episode finally, I am very mixed and very disappointed with how this series concluded. I was really enjoying the first 13 episodes. It seemed really intriguing. The characters, for the most part, were very likable. I was looking forward to seeing the rest of the cast and what stories were going to be told with them. And then after the 13th episode mark, the series just kept going on and on and on. And by episode 17, I was really starting to get bored with this series. But I told myself I was going to do a complete watch the series. It is one of the most disappointing things I've watched this year. It's had such a strong start, and I was really looking forward to watching this series. But like I said, as it went on, the series just drags its feet after the 13th episode with so much build up from those first 13th episodes. After then, this series just crawls to a halt and starts just going off in different directions with different characters and with some of the most boring plot lines in the show. One of the worst ones was Samugi. Her whole plot point with the lighthouse, that is the worst part of this entire show. I just wanted, after that whole thing with the stupid stuffed animals and her suddenly just going away, and at this point, this show is not explaining anything to you. It is just, this whole plot point right here nearly made me quit and just drop the show entirely. And to top it all off, the main character, Hari, he is a plank of wood. He stays stagnant the entire time through. The show tries to give him some plot progression, but it is so boring. His mannerisms, the way he talks, the way he acts, he is definitely the worst character in this show, other than Samugi, but she's a side character, and thankfully she's only around for a few episodes, but still, I thought he would be getting better after the first few episodes, but he just kept getting worse. The pacing as well in this show is awful. After the 13th episode, the pacing just goes directly off the rails, and every episode after then, each episode, I was kind of hoping, okay, is it gonna get better? Is it gonna get better? No, it's not gonna get better, is it? No, it's not. Every episode after the 13th episode, the pacing in every single episode is awful. I don't know what happened. It's just awful. This show is just, there was so much wasted potential in the show, and they don't get back to the plot until episode 20. That's when the show actually gets better. But there is such a large chunk of this show that is just terrible. And it pisses me off because I generally really enjoyed this show. The music is not all that great either, except for the intros and ending themes. Those are at least really good. I enjoyed those aspects at least quite a bit. I never wanted to skip the intros at all, and at least there's that. The intros were great. Most of the cast, thankfully, it goes from tolerable to very likable. One of my favorite characters in the show is Kamomi. I think that's what her name is. She had the best arc within the show. Her whole arc came in the first half, and that's when it was still intriguing and actually getting you to actually care. She had a really neat treasure hunting aspect to her storyline, which I really liked. I thought the series was going to focus more on her because, well, it's early on, but when you finally find out what's actually going on by episode 20, at that point, I just didn't really care anymore. If they would have actually cut out most of the episodes and make this like 17 or 18 episodes, I would have a much more positive view on this show. But as it is, this show is below average in my opinion. This show goes on for way too long. It meanders, it drags its feet. Close to half of the episodes in this series are basically filler, they're boring, and they're just not good. It doesn't help that the pacing in those episodes, as I said before, are just awful. This show has some of the worst pacing this year. The lore in this show is interesting, but by the time this show actually gets to explaining what's actually going on, and it tries to actually make you actually care, it's too late at that point because you wasted so much of my freaking time getting to that point. And the final couple episodes, it does not really have that great a payoff, if I'm going to be honest. And the final episode just left me with more questions than answers, and that's never a good feeling in a show like this. This show set up such an intriguing mystery, and it dropped the ball so hard. All I can take away from this show is wasted potential, and you wasted my time that I'm never gonna get back. So, thank you, Summer Pockets. Thank you, Studio Feel. You wasted a pretty cool potential with this show, and I do not recommend this show whatsoever. If you do want to watch the show, you know what? Don't. This show is not worth it. It's not worth watching. And that is why my score for Summer Pockets is a 5 out of 10. Outside of a few bright spots with a great early hook that this show has, I just can't forgive the waste potential, the meandering, the dragging his feet, the absolute abysmal pacing that the later on in this series has. Thankfully, the cast is not a complete dumpster fire. For the most part, they're likable, but a lot of it is just, like I said, wasted potential. And I don't like it when a show wastes my time, and I don't like it, and I generally try to find stuff I can enjoy, and this is just not one of those. All I can do is just move on to the next and hope it's good. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching this review all the way to the end. Let me know what you guys thought of Summer Pockets if you did watch it, or what you thought of this review down below. Let me know. Please don't forget to comment down below. It'd be a great help. And as well, if you enjoyed, make sure you click the like button. That definitely helps with that stupid algorithm change on YouTube now. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Ryder. I'm out.